Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 22897 Southwest Washington Street here in Sherwood. We're located at the rear of the home. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. We're back here by the air conditioning unit. Right up by this vent here we have a cleanout. And insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running up ahead. Here we go. I think we just ran into the main vent stack there. The camera, I think, went the wrong direction. This is kind of a tricky set of turns right here off the bat here. It's wanting to go the wrong way. Yeah, I think I've got the camera going the right direction here now. I did transition there right after I hit that T connection to cast iron pipe, and that first bit there, about the first 10 feet of that cast iron, looks like it's bellied out. It means the line is settled there and it doesn't have slope and grade so that gravity can remove the water. Here's our running water here from our kitchen sink. It's transitioning here. It actually looks like it's unfortunately transitioning over to Orangeburg pipe. That's at least what it looks like right off the bat. We'll keep going here a little bit further. Yeah, it looks like we have root intrusion here coming through on the right side of the pipe there, you can see. And it transitions here at 42 feet over to Schedule 3034 PVC pipe. And here at 53 feet, we have reached the main lateral. We'll go do locates real quick just to verify where this is at. And then we'll let the line drain out here for a couple minutes, get the pipe that's damaged located. That pipe with the roots in it did appear to be Orangeburg, which is a tar paper product. It was banned in the late 50s because it has a 100% failure rate. It will always collapse or get roots into it or something like that. So it just doesn't hold up at all and needs to go. So anyway, we'll get that mapped out, and then we'll take another look at the pipe inside the home. It does look like we've got some standing water in the crawl space. That's one of those spots there where I won't be able to locate anything as it's under the floor. You'd have to have a plumber come out and correct that by crawling in there and fixing the grate under the pipe. And it's one of those things that, as long as you're not putting tons of junk down the line like paper towels and big giant wads of toilet paper and grease down the sink, a lot of times stuff's going to make it through that. But it does tend to cause debris to build up, and it can even cause regular old toilet paper to build up, not just the stuff that shouldn't go down the line. So anyway, we'll get the water turned off here and get the camera located. Yeah, located the camera head. There's a vehicle right just out beyond where I'm locating, on parked along the curb there, out in front of the. I guess this would be off to the left of the house or off to the left of the front door. Anyway, it looks like the main, going by the sidewalk or the manhole down the street and some markings that are there. It looks like it's running right under the sidewalk or like halfway between the sidewalk and under the curb. but that's where it's at currently. Now we're going to reel back here to where the transition is at from Orangeburg over to PVC pipe. Pretty large root intrusion coming through here. It's very sizable. And it's possible this is ABS. Generally, Orangeburg is very indicative because it'll have a bumpy flow line. It won't be flat because it starts conforming to the ground around it. This is kind of a tough one to tell. Not all Orangeburg deforms heavily. Sometimes it does not. But the way these roots are coming through up here, this really does look like Orangeburg. It's a tough one to tell. It looks like some kind of repair has been done to the house before, and you can see how the pipe right here is all bumped. That's what's making it just some of the things that it's doing. It looks like Orangeburg to me. Orangeburg and ABS are both black in color. And if the Orangeburg isn't showing a ton of deformation to it, it can be kind of difficult to tell apart. So anyway, I'm going to mark right here. I'm going to mark both ends of this section of pipe here. I recommend correcting them. Both ends of it have become offset, and this one has a huge root intrusion through it. But right here at the beginning of this section of pipe, it looks like it is settled and dropped away from the pipe joint here. You can see how it's wide open. That looks like we've got dirt exposed there at the top of the pipe. So regardless of the type of pipe it is here, it needs to be corrected. So from 33 feet out here to 40, just about 43 feet. We can call it for pretty much a 10-foot section of pipe here. And I'll go mark both ends of the repair here. I'll put a white line or dot in between just to show the direction the pipe runs, and there will be a white X at either end of the repair. Okay, this the end of the section of pipe here that's settled and damaged with the roots and settled. Maybe obviously it's a hard one to, or harder to discern whether this is ABS or Orangeburg. Either way, due to the damage that's occurred at both ends of it, I would recommend replacing it, fixing the slope and grade, and getting those joints fixed up so we don't have any roots coming through. Marked it with a white X. We're just about where the front yard meets there's a little bit of bark dust up there where the trees and everything are at. It's just a couple feet away from a tree at the front of the property. And it's either that or one of the bushes that's intruded. It's only about 3 feet 8 inches deep there. It's quite shallow, so it's possible for trees and for smaller bushes like rose bushes to even get to that depth. Alright, and I will mark this end with a white X as well. It looks like we have like a dishwasher or something draining right now. We'll let that drain out, but so we can inspect the part of the cast iron that looks like we have a belly in the crawl space. I have marked the repair right here out in the front yard. Again, it's a 10-foot section extending from 33 feet to 43 feet. It does appear to be Orangeburg. It's possible it's ABS. Either way, we have problems at either end of it. We have dirt exposed here as the joint has become offset there by about an inch separated away. And then at the end of this section, we have a huge root intrusion coming through. So regardless of the type of pipe here, this section needs to be replaced. And I'm getting there at the beginning of that belly. I was getting closer to 4 feet deep, so use some caution when digging. Out at the end of the repair there where we had the roots, I was getting a depth of 3 foot 8, 3 foot 9, but at the beginning I got about 3 foot 11 to 4 feet. So anyway, it's right around 4 feet deep. Just keep that in mind when digging there. Now we have enough toilet paper, stuff like this sitting in the flow line that it's really hard to tell if we have a belly here or if this is just a bunch of junk sitting in the flow line kind of damming up the sewer pipe. What I'm going to do here is do some toilet flushes inside the house here to see if we can clear some of that junk out of the way. I want a little bit better picture of whether we have standing water or not, because you get something like that sitting in the flow line, it's going to dam up the pipe. a lot of these bellies, they're not too terribly bad. Usually where I start seeing most problems are when the standing water hits about 3/4 of an inch. This section, usually 3/4 of an inch of water for about 5 to 8 feet at minimum is where you start seeing debris build up. It's not to say that the belly can't cause problems. If you put big wads of toilet paper down the line, paper towels, grease, even a small amount of standing water can cause that stuff to hang up. So please keep that in mind. We'll try and clear some of this out of here with the toilet flush just so we can have a little bit better look at things, see how much standing water we're really working with. If there's only a 1/4 inch there or so, that's really not a big deal. Again, as long as you're not putting a bunch of junk down the line. They are less forgiving than a line that drains completely out. Alright, I did about 3 toilet flushes and ran the tub and everything just to get some water volume down there. A little bit of toilet paper left over there, it looks like. As you can see here, now the toilet paper is gone, at least thus far. That water level is sitting, let's see where it comes up to here. It hasn't come up to the bottom, it's barely to the bottom of the camera lens here. So what we're looking at there is about 1/4 inch of standing water for maybe 6 feet. It's a very small section of the line. We did have some toilet paper in there. Again, with any sewer line, the reason you don't want to wad up toilet paper is because it clogs up the sewer pipe. That's true for any sewer line, no matter how well it drains out. When you do have some standing water like this, if you do that kind of stuff, wad up toilet paper, put paper towels down the line, those items are going to tend to stick much more often. So as long as it's just regular old toilet paper, folded toilet paper going down the line, once you're past this point here, past that little bit of belly there, the kitchen sink and everything else ties in. So this part of the line here only services the bathroom of the home. So again, as long as you're just using folded toilet paper going down the line here, not putting paper towels down, everything is going to shoot through there just fine. You might get a couple things hanging up every now and then, but you saw there after I did 1 or 2 toilet flushes, most of all that stuff moved its way on out of there. So anyway, I'm not going to recommend a repair there for that reason, but again, I do recommend for sure a repair from 33 feet to 43 feet to correct that section of pipe. It looks like it's likely Orangeburg. If not, we have a offset joint at 33 feet and a very large root intrusion at 43 feet at the end of that pipe. And again, it's marked with white paint. The front of or I guess it would be the left side of the house, but it's the yard area, and right up by some trees and some bushes there at the edge of the yard. And then starts about 2 feet out from the house. All marked with white paint at 3 feet 8 inches to about 4 feet deep. And I recommend a rescope after the repair. I highly, highly recommend it to make sure that the pipe did not settle or anything of that nature. Make sure it was put together properly. The rest of the line, apart from that spot though, is in good condition and functioning at this time.